spectacular vistas and valleys in the park were all carved by glaciers. The existing glaciers will all disappear by the year 2030, but you can walk on one now by hiking the Grinnell Glacier Trail. The trailhead is located near the Mini Glacier Hotel, but if you want to shorten the hike by about 3 miles, you can take the boat. Even then, the hike is a strenuous one. In about 4 miles, you will climb from 5,000 feet to 6,600 feet above sea level. On ranger-led hikes, you'll have plenty of time to rest while you learn about the backcountry. As you might expect, bears are the first topic.
Basically, we're already talking about hiking alone. Do you do it? What do you do? Well, I've done it. I don't recommend it at all. And the main reason is because you can surprise the animals. You're not talking, you get spaced off, and you're suddenly come around a bend and there's a bear, And when you're with people, you tend to be talking, making more noise, and you won't surprise the animals that way. These bears are really not used to being around people, and they don't want to be around people. So if they know we're coming, they're probably going to move away. Black bears, grizzly, which is more dangerous? I'm not going to say which is more dangerous. They're both wild animals, and depending on the situation and the circumstances, they are both can be very dangerous. So.
Just a few hundred yards from the boat landing, the climb begins. The narrow cliff-hugging trail continues to gain altitude, and on most days the wind grows stronger. After about a mile, your efforts begin to pay off, with amazing views. Grinnell Lake gets its unique color from glacial flour, which is very fine rock particles that have been scraped off by the glacier. The sediments which make up the rock of this trail were laid down millions of years before the dinosaur. In these parts, there are no dinosaur fossils, but there are fossils. Here is fossilized evidence of a seafloor, thousands of feet above sea level. After another mile and a half, it's time for another break, and an opportunity to check out the local wildlife, as well as get an enticing look at the end of the trail. The white patch near the saddle is Salamander Glacier, which is just above our destination.
As we go through the waterfall, there's sort of stepping stones, and it's good if you can to sort of step on the rock, place one foot, and then place your other foot, as opposed to hopping.
A little higher and you're above tree line, and the switchbacks begin. Beargrass usually blooms in late July or August, but if there's a late summer, it can still be around in early September. There are a number of waterfalls on the trail, but even in this remote location, parasites may be present, so water must be filtered before drinking. At times, the trail can be quite narrow, with a sheer cliff down and a vertical rock face up. Despite the apparent dangers, most people feel quite safe, which is a real testament to those who built the trail decades ago. But you gotta wonder how the first explorers made it up here in the 1850s. Soon the trail opens up, and the search for wildlife can resume. Look high on the rocks, and you might just see a mountain goat in a precarious spot. Soon the sounds of the waterfall that seemed so distant a few hours ago can be heard above the din of the wind. A turn back to the trailhead awards the hiker with a view of the U-shaped glacier-carved valley with its string of aquamarine lakes. The boat dock is at the near end of the second lake. But the trail continues, and the glacier gets closer and closer. Near the top of the trail, the temperature drops due to altitude and proximity to the glacier, so many people take time to put on an extra layer and observe the local wildlife. Bighorn sheep frequently feed in the meadow by the rest stop near the top of the trail. This is a good lunch spot because the last quarter mile is the steepest part of the trail. And remember to keep your distance, because these animals are wild. When you're at the top, you may be tired, but the views are well worth the effort. Many people choose to stay at the overlook and take in the view. The glacier itself is still about a third of a mile away. By now, you might be wondering what sort of effort is needed to reach this spot. So we asked Sarah and David Martin from Orlando, Florida.
Strenuous, very strenuous. I am pretty wore out.
The ranger at the ranger station said, "Oh, it wouldn't be a hard hike. Y'all can do that."
It's
Beautiful.
longer. It's only 4 miles, and it took us how long? We left at
4
9.
hours?
Close to 4 hours. So
An hour a mile.
an hour a mile. It's a little different than walking at home.
It's not easy, but it's worth it. I think everybody should do it.